Okay, welcome back to the second part of this video for creating our assignment 1. My name is Davis Kurihara-Nakasu, and what I'll be doing for this video is creating the menu following Dr. Halverson's instructions, which will consist of a panel that slides out and a bunch of links that you can kind of navigate between the different pages. And we're going to be using a custom component to replicate this sort of menu so we don't have to keep creating it individually on each page. Now to do this, let's see, what we can do first is, if you go to pages, we have a start screen, but we need another screen to go to, so we'll create new page, and let's call this second app. And then just create. So now we got second app, and we can just really quickly name it second app. And maybe just type 2 second app. Okay. So now we go back to the the start screen. So now we have basically our two pages. We have the hello app and the second app. And on our first page, what we have to do first is drop the panel in. So we go to the controls, the components, and we scroll down and we find the panel. So what we want to do is click on it and then just bring it over here, and it'll look like that. We drop it on there. So now it's open. So to hide it, if you look up here, pop-ups and panels, you click hide, and then it hides. And then to open it, you just click on that and it opens. So now what we want to do is create our menu. Once we create it, then we can save it as a custom component. So to do this, all we do first is we want to drop in a grid. So we'll look for the grid, just drop it in there. And we actually want the grid to be a 1-column, 2-row grid. So we just make this column 1 and then apply. Perfect. Now in the first cell, we want to have a title, so we can just drop a label in there. Let's see, label. So make sure it's in the first one. And we want to delete the text, so we come over here and we just call it, I'll put in all capitals, main menu. And I'm going to take the italics off, and then I also want to bold it and make it in the center. Okay? You can change it however you want. You can customize it, color, whatnot. That's sufficient for now. What I'm going to do next is take a list item from here, from the palette, and I'm going to put it in the lower cell of that grid, right there. Now it has 3 items, but we only have 2 apps so far, so I'm going to make sure it's highlighted by looking up here. It's a mobile list, the breadcrumbs, or once you drop it in, it is. And then I'm just going to make the items 2 and apply. So now it goes down to 2. Now I'm going to click on the first one, and I'm going to change the text from item 1. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to put a 1 period space name app. Sorry, take the caps off. Name app. Now, what I'm going to do next is, you can, change the formatting, but to keep it simple, I'm just going to change the, still having this selected, I'm going to change the name. So I'm going to delete this. And since it's I guess a list item, you can name it whatever you want, just like you can name it BTN for button, or LST like list. That may be hard because it looks like a 1. I'm just going to name it custom component CC menu. custom component menu because that's what it's going to become, and then I'm going to call it name app. So menu name app. So that will identify it as a button for that. And what we can do now is do the same thing for the second one. So we want to change the text to 2 period and just call it second app. And we can leave the defaults for now and just change that to maybe custom component cc menu, was it? Menu, and then just call it second app. See, this was cc menu name, and this is cc menu second app. Let's just call this name app. So we have cc menu name app and cc menu second app. So I'm just changing those two things, the text and the button. Now what we can do is we can link the buttons here, but we can also link them once we set up the custom component, and I think that would be actually more efficient because we've created sort of the UI, the user interface, and I guess we could have done that in the custom component. However, linking the events is probably better to do it once it is a custom component rather than doing it now, because now it only relates to this first page. We want it to relate to every page. So if we scroll up, let's see, we want to maybe click on the panel. No. Okay, get that back. Let's see. I wonder where it is. Okay, let's actually click on the grid, because I think the grid is what we want to be the custom component. So if we click on this, this is as you look at the breadcrumbs, here's the app. We go up to list, which would be these two green buttons. Grid cell would be this cell. Mobile grid would be the whole thing, I think. So you see how now this whole thing that we want to save is highlighted, and then over here the option comes up, save as custom component. So we click that and we can name it. So I just press Control Delete to delete everything in front of the cursor, and then type cc. So it's custom component. I'm just going to type main menu and then click save. Okay, so now as you can see, cc main menu opens up over here. We can click on it, and as you can see, it's kind of darked out and it has our things. All I know is you click on the first one and you can make changes, and when you do and you add like this custom component like how to do to our second app page, everything will be the same. So that's the great thing about this, as long as you keep saving. So I'm going to click save, and then now that we have everything named, all we need to do is create events. So this first button is clicked. I'm going to look for it over here. So let's see, I'm going to try to find it. Let's see, I named it cc menu name app. That's why it's important to name it. And what the event that we want is when you click on it, it's going to navigate to a page. So we click that, navigate to a page, and we actually want it to navigate to the name app page, which is, we probably should have renamed it, but it's the start screen, which we can rename it later. The transition effect, we want slide, and so it looks kind of like, you know, it's sliding, sort of in tune with the app. So slide, and actually from trial and error, the reverse effect allows it to slide in the direction of this arrow. You see this arrow, so when you click on it, it's going to slide that way. If you don't click the reverse effect, when you click on it, it's going to slide this way. So that's just basically trying it and then testing it. So when you click slide and reverse, it'll slide to the right. But if you don't click reverse and you you don't check off this reverse box and you use slide, it's going to slide to the left. We want it to slide to the right. So we click reverse and then save. And then we can create another event for the second app. And click, and then also navigate to page. And then it's also going to be slide. And reverse. Perfect. And save. Okay, so that's the custom component. It's set up. Now what we want to do is add this custom component to the other page. So we'll go back to our start screen. One thing we can do before that is we can hook up the button to actually open the panel. So I'm going to hide this. So you see how it's open right now? I'm going to go to panel and then hide. And then what we want to do is take a button and then drop it in the top corner. And we're going to delete the text. So just go over here, delete the text. And then the icon, let's see, Dr. Halverson used this one, so I'm going to use this one. I believe it's this one. And then you can position it in different ways, but I want to position it with no text, so it looks a little bit bigger. And I think all we have to do is just name it. So I'm going to name it BTN for button. Sure, that's a good naming convention. And then let's do main menu. So BTN main menu. I think that should be sufficient. You can name it more specifically, but I think since this button's on this page, it should be fine. Okay, and then what you want to do is, since it's highlighted, you want to create an event for it. So then you click its button main menu, it's still highlighted, see over here, and then click, and then what you want it to do is open the panel. So let's find open panel, and we use panel 10 since it's right here. It's the only one that we have. Click save. Okay, good. So close that. Now we can go and work on the second app, doing the same thing. So we click on the second app, and then what we want to do is drop in that custom component. Now what we could do is, and this was what Dr. Halverson was talking about, you could drop in a panel, but then it would require you creating basically the same custom component, or the same, rather, everything over again. So what you do is, I guess, we could have made a custom component out of the whole panel, but I guess we just take the panel. So we take the panel, we don't drop the custom component, you just take the panel and then you drop it in here. So that creates a panel. That's like a palette for what we put our custom component on. Then we just take the custom component, main menu, and we drop it in here, and everything's all set up. That's the beauty of it, I guess. Makes it much more efficient. Now we can hide that, and everything should be linked up. We'll test it though in a second. Now all we do is we take the button, similar to the first page, and we drop it on here. And we're going to delete the text, same thing. No icon. This one. And no text. Perfect. And let's see, we can name it BTN main menu also. Okay. And then we don't want to forget to link it up, so we create an event for it, and it's button main menu, click. See, it only pertains to the second page. So click, and then select action is going to be open panel, and then that's the only option, panel 2, save. Okay, so now what we have is both pages. When you click on this, what should happen is it should open the panel. using the custom component, we should be able to navigate between the pages. And that's it. Start screen, let's look at the start screen again. Same thing. Click on this, it should open the panel and navigate through the pages. So last thing we have to do is save and then test. We'll see how it works. Okay, click here. Okay, let's enter a name. We did this last time, so we don't need to. So we click on here, and then it slides out. And then, let's see, click on name app. It doesn't do anything because we're on the name app page. To get back there, you just click on, like, off screen. So it would be this one, the second app, and it should slide. Same thing, we open that up, and if you click on the second app, it's not going to do anything because we're on the second app page. So click the name app, and it should slide, and we're back at the front. Excellent. So that's it for now. Please don't hesitate to, if you have any questions, I'm available to help. Just try to let me know, and I'll do my best to help you. Okay, thank you very much for tuning in, and bye to next time.